Hey everyone, it's Don once again, Captain Cross-Stitch here, coming to you from the basement for episode 27. This is a channel about cross-stitch and a few other things that you probably didn't know you didn't know. So if you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, I'm glad to see you back. And I'm hoping you all got through the winter storms okay without too much trouble. So what did we do in the month of February? Well, just a real quick life update. Nothing new there, still no job, but I'm doing well otherwise. So what did we do in the month of February? So I had one new start, but I didn't actually stitch a whole lot. Just a little over 1,100 stitches, I think, was my total. And but I did touch a couple of different things besides the new start. And I think I might be getting a visitor here. What you doing, puppy? Come on. There he is. That's my Benny boy. You want a cookie? That's my wonderful 55, 60-pound dog, Benny. Some of you know him. I know, here's another cookie. I know Carla, you know Benny. He comes to the retreats. You gonna do another trick? What you looking at, buddy? Huh? Mommy's got a cookie. Come here.
Ready? You want it? Oh, good boy.
Anyway, my wife was helping me with the dog there. And so for the month of February, I stitched on 3 projects aside from the new start. So I worked on 4 projects total. So let me show you the new start. This is called Alice from designer RATM, and this is my start. So this little guy here, so Alice, it's the theme of the project. I'll show you a picture in a minute. Is Alice in Wonderland. So this is one of the twins from the story. What were they? Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I think. And then this is a Quaker thing. This is actually the top of the design for the most part. So what there will be Alice will be over here, and she'll be looking like down the rabbit hole. So this is ground level for Alice, and then there will be a rabbit sitting up here, and then there's all kinds of Alice in Wonderland motifs mixed in with Quaker, because RATM, she's a big Quaker person. She loves to do Quaker stuff. Oh, wait a minute. So this is what the design looks like. So you can see I've done this guy here and about half of that motif, but there's Alice and she's looking, and there's the rabbit with his watch. So the design is bigger than it looks because I had to order. It wouldn't fit on a fat quarter of 14 count, which is, any of you that watch me regularly, 14 count's my jam. So it would have left me no margin on one side, and it wouldn't fit on the other margin. So I had to order a bigger piece. I had to get a fat half. But there will be a nice big piece that I'll get to cut off that I can use for smaller projects. So that was my new start. So Carla, that was for you. So one of my friends from the Grace Notes retreats, Carla Pagan, she has a YouTube channel. You should go check her out. It's Carla's Stitching Journey on Floss Tube. Check her out. But she does a game where she follows certain Floss Tube people, and she assigns projects to them, and based on their last episode, she assigns a stitch number of stitch value to the project that she matched up with that floss tuber. So that was one of the reasons I got Benny in the picture, because she gets to add stitches for that. And I had a new start. I know she adds stitches for that. So this will be my first video for her watching me to apply that to. So I hope I'm not disappointing too much. You get a nice slow start with me this time, Carla. Maybe I'll be able to pick up the pace and you can do more stitches for me. But I thank you for choosing me for your stitching game. All right, next up, I worked on the magpie's porridge from Forest embroidery. Oh, and by the way, the fabric that I was stitching the Alice on is a piece of 14 count macchiato from Grace Notes Fabrics. It's a nice coffee colored, creamy modeling. It's very nice. So this is Magpie's Porridge. Might help if I turn the red side up. So you can see it's a magpie wearing a traditional Russian-inspired outfit, and she's got a cauldron of porridge, and there's some beautiful foliage around, and some designs, and it's a good color scheme. So that's what it'll look like. And this is what I've got done on it so far. So you can see I got all the red in the dress completed, I believe. I'm working on some of the other colors, and I'm going to finish the magpie in the center first, and then I'll work my way out to the borders eventually. So I'm working on this. There's a gold thread that I'm working on now, and then there's some black and blues in there. So it's a beautiful piece. Forest does such wonderful designs. I've got a ton of them. And that's being, oh, I'm sorry. This is being stitched on macchiato. The Alice is being stitched on, I don't know. Oh, it's on, shoot. I can't remember at the moment. It'll come to me. But anyway, so the other piece I stitched on was, oh, I gotta grab it. Hold on, it's like 5 feet away. Okay. So the other piece I stitched on was a piece called Simplify. It's a small. I'd knocked out just about all of it. I'm gonna work on this some more because I wanna get it done. I'm tired of looking at it, and it'd be nice to get a finish. In the early goings of 2026. The where my needle is. I hope it wasn't. Have to be careful that if I drop it, I don't want to step on it. But anyway, yeah. So basically, there's some back stitching and some simple border stuff around here, and it goes on down and around like that. So it shouldn't. Oh yeah, I have it in here. So that's the finished product. So you can see there's just a little bit of some back stitching and some simple stitching in there to finish it up. So not a whole lot left to do, which is great. So what I did, I don't know if I did it in January or February, I can't remember. I put all of my whips on a spreadsheet, and I've got 40 whips, and I categorized them by size. So I divided it up by color. Let's see if I can bring this up on my computer. I'm gonna maybe attempt to show you what it looks like. But anyway, so I'm trying to spread my stitching time around on different size projects each month, so that over time I will have touched a majority of them. I won't touch them all, but I'm hoping that I can make some progress throughout the course of the year on some stuff that hasn't been touched in a long time. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to move around with this because I don't know how to flip the camera in the middle of recording. So, all right. So you can see I've got them listed by name and the company, designer, size. I gave them a score based on the size, so I just multiplied it out to give me a simple number that I could use to rank the size, fabric used, and then the date of which I last worked on it. So you can see through the months of January and February, I've got to update it because I haven't done everything that I touched in the month of February yet. But that's what I'm doing. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing so far. And in doing so, one of the last whip that I have to show you that I stitched on in the month of February is my oldest whip, my very oldest. Sad to say, it's between 25 and 28 years old. I'm not sure exactly when I started it, but I know it's more than 25 for sure. So I'll show you. This is King Tut. So you can see it looks to be just about done, and it's not far from being done. I have these white spaces to fill in down this side. You can see that's what I'm working on over here. So I got just a few more here, and then there's some highlights throughout the center here, like across the cheek. Well, I'm not sure what the color is, but I'm guessing it's close to white because it's supposed to be highlighting the metallic surface of the sarcophagus. But yeah, and then the only other thing besides that is there is a border that goes all the way around it with hieroglyphic symbols. So yeah, so I worked on that a little bit this in February. I'll show you. It was part of a kit from Janlin. You remember that company, you older stitchers? It was actually a twofer. It was, it's called Egyptian Pear. It was King Tut and Nefertiti. So, yeah, I'm a fan of ancient Egypt civilization and mythology. I like all mythology, but I particularly like Egyptian. So, if you like that, maybe you can find it on the secondhand market. I don't know that I'll ever do the Nefertiti. It just doesn't really do much for me. I just, you know. But anyway. So what else has been going on in the stitching world? So Nashville Needlework Market is blown up. There's a ton of stuff coming out. They have an interesting series. So a bunch of designers, along with one of the thread companies, I forget which one, they're doing a series called Beneath the Waves, which all these designers created a small design using only those colors, and the colors are beautiful. They're ocean blues and purples, and they look really nice. But anyway, so they got a bunch of little small designs from those, and they all have this little imprint to let you know that that's what it was for. It's for Beneath the Waves. Some of the things that I've seen, I didn't see everything, but Blue Flower had some Tudor animals, which looked intriguing. Jeanette Douglas, I don't know how old she is, but she's a machine. She put out a ton of stuff. She's also bringing out the final quarter of the seasonal garden set. So there's one for each, winter, spring, autumn, summer. Spring garden is the last piece. So if you've been eagerly awaiting that, I have the other 3 pieces myself. So yeah, I'll be getting that last piece. She has some pieces of her floral alphabet series. I think there were some chubby animals, which she likes to do. And then there's another booklet, I think it was, called Tapestry of Stitches, Volume 2. There was a company I never heard of before called Fine Frog. She had a blue jay design, which looked really good. Pantini, with some more bird trios. Jet X Stitch had a couple of designs of pink wren and Trillium Forest. Those look really cool. Artsy Housewife with her fancy peacock. And Silver Creek Samplers had a couple of designs. There was one with a whale, looked really cute, and and like I said, those are just a few things off of some of the videos that I've seen that Stephanie Webb from Lindy Stitches in her constant barrage of videos, talking about the releases. She's doing her cowboy theme. Howdy, y'all. You fixing to buy some more patterns from all these hero designers? You ought to. But anyway, so yeah, it's a big year for springtime releases. So if you haven't seen them, go check them out. Go on FlossTube and see what you can find. I'm sure there's a ton of people that will show you more than some of the things that I've talked about, because I'm not a video editor. I just do everything in one take and hope for the best. I don't insert pictures here, or anything like that. So maybe if I had a tutor that could show me how to do that stuff, I might end up doing it. But anyway, what else had? So following up from something I had mentioned last month, Lola Crow's new Sal. That's a stitch along for you newbies for 2026. Last year it was Exotic Birds. This year she's bringing us to the Museum After Midnight. So this is her 5th Sal that she's done. Like I said, Extraordinary Birds. She had the Deadly Aquarium, Greenhouse of Oddities. She also did a couple of Christmas ones, Christmas Monsters and Creepy Christmas Village, which I've never seen either of those, but they're on her website if you want to check them out. LolaCrowCrossStitch.com. And then my friend Deborah Dick over at Tempting Tangles. She's still got her big sal, which is the magic patchwork, which is basically 4 sals in one. It's patchwork, kind of like quilting, but the designs are Quaker inspired, and it's 4 blocks, and each block is, assuming they're all the same size, I think there's 16 parts to each block, so it's a massive piece. You got 4 blocks of 16 parts within each block. So right now they're in block 2. Block 1 has been completed. Now you can buy individual blocks if you desire. She's got Magic Patchwork block number 1 available for sale on her website. She's also got one called Paisley Love, which is a beautiful heart-shaped design with all kinds of paisley style markings in it. And then another one is From Alchemy to Chemistry, which is excuse me. And she's got just a ton of stuff that's beautiful. I urge you, if you like Quaker-inspired stuff, or do you like sayings, or just cute designs, all kinds of seasonal, holiday-inspired pieces. Go check her out. It's TemptingTanglesDesigns.com. I urge you. She's a friend of mine, and it would really help her out if you would go buy some of her charts. And they're digital. I know some shops somewhere around the country have paper versions, but trust me, you want to get digital, and then you can download that into your Markup XP or whatever program you use. It works just fine. I use it in my, so check it out. Okay, last month, and nobody told me this, I'm a haul person. I totally whiffed on haul. Totally whiffed on it. I might have mentioned something, but I never actually showed you anything. So, not that I have a lot to show, but, because still not working. I'm trying to control my spending as much as I can. But I do have a few things to show you, and some of them are good. Alright, we'll do some fabric first. And I did get a embellishment pack for the aforementioned Seasons by the Sea. I said Seasons in the Garden, which was the pattern from Jeanette Douglas, but I'm currently trying to get the embellishment packs for her previous quad of seasonal, which was Seasons by the Sea, and this is the summer. It's got some silks in there and some beads, I think, or charms maybe. Not sure. I didn't take it out of the packaging. From Mystic Fabrics, I got a piece of something called Atypical, which is kind of like a parchment colored piece. I'm not sure why it was called Atypical. Maybe it was not, they dyed it and it didn't turn out like they thought it would. But they had to try and sell it, you know, they couldn't waste it. So since then, I've gotten 2 pieces of my fabric of the month. I got from Grace Notes Fabrics Vanilla Fields, which is I got a 14 count of that, and then I got something called Mirage, which is really pretty. It's like a purplish gray pale color, very beautiful. Then I got a few charts. Got building more of my Bella Filipina collection. Got Esmeralda. And then I got Ordulia, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Orduja. Another mermaid, very pretty. And I got the Mad Tea Party. So Alice in Wonderland inspired. And then Belinda Botanical of the Black Magic Academy. That's a very pretty design, very well done. And then the coup de grace of designs, as I had mentioned in the previous one of my last 2 videos, the re-release of the 2 Mirabilia designs that were retired, Lady of the Flag and the Queen of Freedom. I had bought them and they arrived. So here they are. Lady of the Flag. Bum, bum, bum. And the Queen of Freedom. Bum, 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 bum. So happy. I'm so glad to have those. At some point, maybe for July of this year, I'll start one of them for the celebration of the 250th birthday of our wonderful country, my wonderful country, maybe not yours if you're outside of the U.S., but greatest country on the planet, as far as I'm concerned, in my humble opinion. And then I made another purchase recently on Etsy. So, you know, if you've been on there looking at cross-stitch stuff, there's a lot of stuff that seems like it's, you know, how can they generate so much stuff that's similar, you know? I'm sure a lot of it's AI or computer-aided, you know, creations, but they look so darn good. I mean, you can't help yourself. And I personally don't have a problem with that kind of stuff, as long as it's not like a complete ripoff. Like you put 2 pieces side by side. Oh, here's an AI piece, and here's something that a human did, and they're nearly identical. Then I have a problem with that, because you're just ripping a person off. But AI is basically it's influenced by what it sees, and you know, it's no different. That's how a human does it. I mean, but it's just done organically instead of computer digitally. So I don't have a problem with it per se. But anyway, there's a company on there called Fanta, like the drink, Fanta Pattern, and they had a really big sale going on. So I was, clicking and clicking, and the discount was like, stuff was like $1, $1.20 or whatever. And I was thinking, okay, I'll buy a bunch of these, because they're cheap. But then they had a thing where you could buy their entire catalog for like $17. Normally the whole catalog I think it was like maybe $50 or something, which would still be a good bargain. But I wasn't going to pay 50 at that time, but I will pay 17. So that's what I did. So I got their whole catalog, which is great. But now I had to take time and go through it all and see what I want to download and save and eventually try and stitch. So the first thing that I found that I thought looked really cool was this dragon snow globe. And that is badass. I don't know why. Even without the globe, if you just stitched the dragon and the trees, that would be really badass. So, but it's big. It's a lot of pages. I printed it out just to show you guys, but I should have just printed the first page. But I was like, it doesn't matter. But since I have them all, whatever I'll get digitally. I can put those I already put it in my markup XP. So, and then the only other thing I bought was a project bag by Pinky Promises. You can find her on Etsy. She makes amazing bags, embroidered bags, and I wanted something for a project that I had that's one of my whips, but I didn't have a corresponding. I like to have corresponding project bags. And since it's the year of the horse, the Chinese calendar, I have a horse project that I've worked on, but I wanted to put it in a nice bag. So here's the bag. And you can see it's embroidered. Beautiful, beautiful job. And then the front, the inside, you see the inside is a herd of horses. It's quilted. So, and it's got a nice, her zippers are really nice and sturdy. I like them. And the bag is a nice big size. No doubt that this is big enough for a project. So, check her out on Etsy if you're interested. This is my third bag of hers that I bought over the years. So, all right, let's see what else. Forgot about this one. So, in my stitching group that I belong to, here in Harford County, Maryland, the town of Bel Air and Aberdeen is where we meet. Each one of those locations once a month. Aberdeen on the first Saturday of the month, and then at the Panera there on Route 22. And then that's a smaller turnout. just because it's further north for some people. And then the same group, although more people show up to the Bel Air location on the third Saturday of the month. We meet at the Panera at the festival right off of Route 1. No, I'm sorry, Route 24. It's sandwiched between 924 and 24, so whichever one you want to travel on, you can get there. But anyway, last month, somebody brought in some charts that they didn't want and started passing them around, and by the time they got to me, there was one that I would like to have had, but of the ones that made it to me, this one kind of stood out, so I took it, even though I more than likely will never do it, but it's so pretty, I couldn't help myself. So yeah. So it's called Princess White, charted by Michelle Sayeda, from artwork by Josephine Wall, and put out by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm not sure if this is an available chart currently, but yeah. So I got that. And then the latest, the spring issue of Just Cross Stitch just came out. So you probably, if you subscribe, you got your copy already, I'm sure. But there were a few things that stood out. So a new year-long 4-part stitch-along debuted called Tapestry of 12. So, of course, a much smaller scale, but same idea as the Magic Patchwork from Deborah Dick over at Tempting Tangles. This is 4 parts, but each part is like 12 mini parts. And they do it in the gradual color changes throughout. So you can see. So each little square is its own design. I kind of like this. This is doable because it's bite-sized chunks. You know, you could do a couple of these. You know, if you did like 3 a week, that's doable. I mean, it seems like you could do easily some of these in a day, no problem. So, I mean, as slow as I am, I think I could probably knock some of these out pretty quick. So that's something I may start. I'm not sure yet, but that caught my eye. This is not something that I would do, but I thought it was cute and adorable, and it's something that they're going to do throughout the year. It's little paper dolls, and they're animals. Little Penelope hedgehog, I guess. So I'm guessing you work this on perforated paper, or some kind of rigid plastic, maybe. I'm not sure. And then they got some coming out the rest of the year. So the rest of the issues in 2026. Looks like you get a bear, a fox, and a penguin, and they each have different items that are separate, I guess. So you kind of somehow attach them, I'm not sure. And this is a small, and it's adorable, and just because of the subject matter, I would almost have to do this. It's called Hexacomb Bee, but it's a little bee, but he's a wizard. He's a little bee wizard, and it's adorable. He's even got these little potions on his belt. You see, 3 different little vials of little potions, and he's got a wand, his little wings and wizard hat. He's so cute. How can you not? I mean, it would almost be worth it to do just the bee by himself. You know, if you didn't want to do all the flowers and stuff around it. That's something I might do. So yeah, overall it was a pretty good issue. And there's, other springtime, Easter inspired stuff. So that's my haul. That's all the haul for 2 months, January, February. So what else we got? Okay, so my art update. So I've managed to get some more prints made, some more credit cards. I'm sorry, postcards, not credit cards. I got some postcards made of my Tangle art, which, so I've got 6 months worth of releases. I got a nice storage container to keep them all safe and warm. I now have a Patreon page. So if you want to go on Patreon, look for Bio, B-I-O, with a capital B, Geometrica, with a capital G. So B-I-O, G-E-O, M-E-T-R-I-C-A. Or if you can't find it that way, look for postcards under art or something like that. But anyway, I've got 2 things posted so far: an intro to my page and a peek at the first release, which is Rocket Squirrel. I can show you a bookmark I had made. So that's Rocket. So you can join my page for free. That doesn't cost you anything. But I do have a subscription, postcard subscription, and there's different levels to it. There's like a copper level, silver level, gold level, and titanium, I think was what I called the other one. I can't remember. And so it's like the smallest tier is $5. That's the no frills version of the tiers. I'm sorry, I'm bringing it up on my computer so I can. Yeah, so a copper tier is like the one I just described. That you will receive the postcard of the month, and that's it, no extras. Silver tier, which is the highlighted tier, is silver, is $10 a month. You get the same benefits as copper tier, but some random extras thrown in, like bookmarks, stickers, and potential for a surprise bonus. I wouldn't tell you what that is. Gold tier, $15 a month, same benefits as silver tier, but then you also get your choice of a bonus postcard, your choice of any card that had been released up until this point in time. Now, obviously, if you join the first month, I would have to give you some other kind of bonus because there's only one card available. But anyway, and then the platinum tier is the same benefits as gold tier, but you also get an entry into a random monthly drawing for a hand-colored version of a postcard of your choice, but there's only one winner per month, and the odds are based on the number of platinum subscribers. So, yeah. Now, there may at some point be additional tiers that, higher than that, but I haven't decided on any of that yet. But anyway, yeah, so go check it out if you would, and see what I had to offer you. You'll be able to see the launch. The first card is, like I said, is the squirrel. I'll be actually posting the next image for the second card of the month later this afternoon. It's almost 2 o'clock already. So anyway, so that is that. I'm also looking into local marketing things for later in the year where I can sell and display prints of my art. I'm probably gonna look into getting bigger sizes other than postcards, because people may want a bigger version, something larger than a postcard. I'm not sure. What would you think? What would be a good size let's say price point of $20, $10 to $20? How big would it need to be? Let me know what you think. Okay, one last thing. I'm going to pause it and come back. Okay, I'm back. So that's really about it for stitching stuff. I should have said that before I did the art thing. But the only thing I have left to talk about, so if you're not into all my extra stuff and you're gonna take off, I'm gonna say see you in the next video if you come back. The last couple of things I want to talk about is one is books. So I started a new series, and it's a massive undertaking. But I started book 1 of the Sun Eater saga. If any of you are familiar with that, it's science fiction. Empire of Silence by Christopher Ruocchio. You can see I've only just started it, but it's the style of writing is very reminiscent of Frank Herbert in his Dune series. So some would say that's high praise, and maybe it is. I, for one, it's hard for me to read with any speed when it's overly wordy. And now, granted, it's not the number of words, it's just I guess it's like the descriptive prose that is used is just, I find it unnecessary. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying what I'm reading. I like the I like the story so far. But I just feel it's like, it took me a few chapters to be able to like get my mindset into reading that style, because it was just kind of like white noise. It's like it's like trying to read, or it's kind of like trying to listen to somebody talking to you in the car, and the radio is on, and you can't hear them through the noise, the static. That's kind of what it reminds me of. So I had to train my brain to like filter out that white noise of the style of writing. I'm okay with it now. I've gotten far enough with it that I've trained my brain to kind of relax with the vocabulary, because he's using words to describe certain things, and it's not everyday words. It's words you never hear, and so I mean, a couple of them I kind of had to think, I'm like, what is he talking about? I think I actually had to look one of them up, because I thought I knew what it meant, but I wanted to make sure. So I'll have an opinion, I guess, once I get through more of it, and to say, if it's worth your time, because as it stands today, it's 7 books. 7, right? Like Monica said in Friends. If you're a Friends fan, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right. So that's the only new thing I've been reading. But I would like to do a little self-promotion once again. So if for those of you who don't know, I wrote a book 2 years ago. Well, I guess it'll 2.5 years ago, less than that, but it was in the end of 2023 is when it came out. So there it is, Children of Prometheus. It's science fiction, as you probably figured out already. But it's easy to read. Unlike that guy that I just talked about, I'm not Stephen King. I'm not getting paid by the word. I'm not getting paid at all, really. So I've been dabbling with a couple of ideas. I've been writing them, but both are very far away from being completed. But one is the sequel to that book, tentatively titled Pandora's Legacy. And I've written maybe about 20% of it so far, so not too far along. But since I was underwhelmed by the response of that book, I haven't really been motivated to do much with it. And then I have another book, which I don't really have a title for yet. I don't know if it's a different genre altogether. It's a horror serial killer kind of thriller mix. I won't go into any more about it than that, because I don't want to accidentally give anything away. But I've written about the same amount on that one, maybe about 20%. But I'm hoping to get some motivation to do it. I mean, I think once my future is determined financially, because I still don't have a job, and going on, moving towards 8 months now. I haven't worked, and quite frankly, I'd be hard pressed to work again. I'm so out of it. But I did apply. As some of you know, I'm disabled to some degree. So I did apply for disability through an attorney, so I'm waiting to hear back on that. Hey, puppy. What you doing? I don't have any more cookies. I don't have any more cookies.
No.
But yeah, so if either one of those things comes through, a job or a disability, then I'd have peace of mind, and then maybe I would jump into writing more, because I could do it on my own time without worrying about how I'm going to keep the lights on, that kind of thing. But anyway, but there are some opportunities coming up later in the year for me to get my book out in front of people. There's in my local county, they have a author and arts fair that I'm going to try and get into, and maybe I can get this out to some people and get some interest generated, because Amazon just doesn't do anything for you other than take half your proceeds for anybody that stumbles across your book and wants to buy a copy. I think I sold 2 books last year, which I didn't. I don't know who bought them, because they don't give me that information. But anyway, that's that. So last month I had quite a bit to say about what was going on in Minnesota and whatnot, but that all seems to have died down. So don't really have anything more to say about it. But I was very happy with the State of the Union this past Tuesday. Extremely well done. It was sad to see the majority of the Democrats who bothered to show up. They may as well have done what the other 70 representatives did and not bother to show up, which is a disgrace. I mean, it doesn't matter that you have different opinions about stuff. You need to respect the position that you were voted in for and the position of the president. You don't have to like him. I don't particularly like him per se, but I do believe he's doing what's best for the citizens and the country, and as it turns out, maybe even the world. Just in the last 2 days, we've joined Israel in attacking the communist regime of Iran, and taken out their weapons capability to the best. I mean, it's an ongoing thing, but hopefully
it'll be enough for the people there to rise up and claim a new form of government for themselves, because they want it. They want it bad. People there are getting literally killed in the streets by the regime that we just beheaded. So I'm with the Iran people. I want them to be able to live their lives in peace and joy and harmony and success and greatness, just like we have here in this country. I mean, they are human after all, right? So they deserve it. So hopefully it'll all work out in the end. Hopefully we won't ever have to set a single foot in the country to do it. We did everything from a distance, and of course, the immediate retaliation shows you what kind of people they are. They didn't just try and attack Israel. They shot missiles at all kinds of neighboring countries in retaliation. Dubai and Qatar and Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, and Israel. They fired missiles all over the place. So hopefully that'll come to an end within the next few days. I haven't watched anything about it yet today, but I will tonight probably. So that's it for this episode. We're just over an hour. I thank you all for joining me. As I stated at the beginning, if you were new here and you made it this long, I thank you for watching. And hopefully you'll subscribe and hit the like button down below. Tell your friends and family about me if you think that's something they'd be interested in, or your fellow Stitchers. And thank you for my regular subscribers. I appreciate you. Carla, I hope you got enough work out of me to do some stitching. Until next time, keep on stitching. Bye. Doggy Dad. Bye.